Hello, students. Welcome to the science class. As we are doing yesterday, the separation of substances, today also we will discuss the same chapter and the question answers from Awareness book. So let's proceed. How will you obtain clear water from a sample of muddy water? Here all of you know that loading it is the process in which the alum particles are deposited on suspended clay particles of muddy water to make them heavy and settle down rapidly. And definitely you know that if the heavy water are or heavy substance, it settles down in the bottom, and so that the two layers could be separated, and this could be done with the help of the alum by the process called loading. Next one, define solubility of a substance. How does the solubility of a substance vary with temperature? So what is the solubility? It is the maximum amount of the solvent or a substance which can be dissolved in 100 grams of water at a given temperature, known which is the solubility of that substance in that temperature, in water. So it is the maximum amount, that is highest amount of the substance dissolved. But always remember this, the water taken here, or water considered to be 100 grams always, okay. And the solubility of a substance, it regularly increases with the increase in the temperature. As the temperature is increased, the solubility of the substance also increased, okay. Next, how will you separate a mixture of mustard seed and powdered common salt? Now, first we have to take a glass full of water. Then we have to put the mixture of the mustard seed and the powder common salt into the water. And now we will mix it well, and then powdered common salt will be dissolved, and mustard seed will be leave. I mean it's a mustard seed will be left on the solution. So from here you can understand that is the, as the common salt is soluble in water, so they will get dissolved very easily, and mustard seed will be separated by this method only. Next is, how is scrap iron separated from a heap of waste materials in a factory? I had told you before also, the scrap iron or anything which is magnetic material, that has to be separated easily by electromagnet or magnet. And here, as the procedure is happening in a large scale manner, so the scrap iron is separated from the heap of waste material by using the big electromagnets, which are fitted from the heap of the waste material. And these electromagnets are fitted into the crane is a big machine which helps to lift up the substances. Next, a cup of tea is said to be a mixture. So you name its various component. So cup of tea is a mixture, and the several components of the cup of tea are water, then tea leaf extract, sugar, and milk. And on the other hand, what is the general name of the process by which the tea leaves are separated from the prepared tea? The used tea leaves are separated from the prepared tea by the method of filtration. You take a sieve and you pour the mixture containing in the tea leaves in through that. The tea leaves being bigger in the size than the whole of the sieve, they will get they will trapped by the filter, by the sieve, and liquid will be flown away, okay. So by this method we can separate the tea leaf along with the prepared tea from the prepared tea. Next is, define the term sedimentation and decantation. So what is sedimentation? The deposit of the solid matter at the bottom of the liquid is sedimentation. We often say na sediment has formed. That means that is what exactly? That is nothing but the liquid deposition of the solid matter just at the bottom. And decantation is the pouring out of the liquid from the vessel without disturbing the sediment. That is, after the settlement is done, after the settlement sorry the sedimentation is done from the liquid from the above is being without disturbing the sediment is taken away, and this is called as the decantation. So you are given a mixture of iron fillings and sulfur powder. How will you separate? Again, this is a very easy method. That is, you have to do this method by a horseshoe type magnet. So in order to separate them, a horseshoe type magnet is removed on the surface of the mixture, and the iron fillings will be attracted by the magnet. And the because how will they attract it towards the magnet? Because these substances will cling towards the poles of the magnet and they will be getting separated. This is the easy method, that is to separate the magnetic substance from the non-magnetic substance. Then again, definition, the term threshing and winnowing. I hope all of you are very familiar with these two terms. Threshing is actually the process in which the stalks are beaten to separate the grains from the stalks and from the chaff that covers the grain. And on the other hand, the winnowing is the method of separating the husk grain with the help of the wind. So winnowing has to be separated with the help of the wind, and threshing is the process in which the stalks are beaten to separate the grain from the stalk. Okay. Next one, state one use of the method of winnowing. So why, in what field, in which field the winnowing is used? They are used to separate the husk from the various type of the grains, and like the wheat grain, the rice, etc. Give one use of the hand picking method of separation. The hand picking method is usually used to separate the undesirable substance such as the small pieces of stone from the wood or from the pulses. Wood or from the pulses, the stones are being take I mean, if it is mixed up with the stone, then by hand, one by one, it has to be picked up and thrown. How will you separate a mixture of the common salt, sand, and iron fillings? So, by this common method, common sense, what is there? That is, first magnet near the mixture. We have to bring for several times, and so you will see all the iron fillings first will be attracted towards the magnet, and it will be get separated. So first we are separating the iron fillings. Next we are then left with the mixture of the sand and the common salt. So some water is added to the mixture, that is the mixture of the common salt and the sand, or in a glass, so water is taken and the salt and sand are added to it and it is stirred well. So common salt will dissolve into the water and sand will remain undissolved. Okay, so these two things we are separated, we had seen. Now, after filtering, sand is obtained as a residue on the filter paper, and the salt solution will be of the is as a filtrate. Now, the salt solution evaporated when the pure salt is obtained. So, the mixture has been separated by using three methods here. What is the three methods we have used? One is the magnetic separation, then is the filtration, then is the evaporation. So first, with the magnetic separation, we had separated the iron filling. Then salt and common sand and salt we had dissolved in water, amongst which salt get dissolved into the water and sand remain undissolved. Then we are done with the process of filtration, in which the sand remains as a residue and salt has gone down as a filtrate. Then the sand, we had taken out and separated the sand. Now the water, the evaporation process is carried out, in which the water is getting evaporated and we are getting the salt. How do jewelers separate the pearls of different sizes? When the different sizes come into practice, all of you know that the method which is applied is sieving. Next, why do we need to separate the different components of a mixture? the mixture are separated into different components for various purpose, like to remove an undesirable compound, to remove an harmful component, to obtain the pure sample, to obtain the useful component. So and what is the example? Like we make a cup of tea by boiling tea leaves in water and then adding sugar, milk. After that the tea has been made. So we remove the tea leaves from it before drinking it. We had already done it. So this is definitely reason. This is one of the reasons why we need to separate the components. And again, what is saturated solution? Saturated solution means where no more substances can be dissolved at that particular temperature. Suppose we are testing it in a temperature of say 16 degree. So in that temperature, the solution is contained. That means it is no, not even a single molecule of any substance could be added to it. Okay. Or if a given solution, no more salt can be dissolved at that temperature, then it is the saturated solution. Next, what will happen if the saturated solution of a substance in water is heated or cooled? First, we take the example of the heating. When it is heated, the solubility of the water increases with the increase in the temperature. Okay, and the solubility substance decreases with the lowering of the temperature. That means as the temperature increases, the solubility of a substance also, especially water here, is increases or is increased. On the other hand, if the temperature is decreased, automatically the solubility of the water will also be decreased. Okay, so I think you have understood this chapter. We had discussed extensively from both the NCRT as well as from the awareness. Even then, if you have any doubt anywhere, suppose you are not understanding anything, just do ask me. Okay, till then, tomorrow again we'll start with a new chapter. So till then, all of you stay safe. Thank you.